Good morning. I gotta be honest. I am so grateful to be here. I really am. I'm excited to be in business with my beautiful wife, and to have a family business. That's us now. The funny thing is that they say that we went back to our before picture. So I don't know. That was before. You know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my team. I'm so grateful for my wife. And I want you to know this guy right here changed my life, Dan Charlier. And I'm so thankful. You know, it's just such an honor because I remember sitting in the crowd like this, and I still do this to this day, just really wanting to win so bad. You know, that guy you probably wouldn't have prospected. But that's the guy that showed up to BPM. And then got told to leave because I didn't have a suit. And I'm so thankful, you know, my dad, she mentioned, recruited me. My dad's a pastor, my mom's a teacher, and they didn't choose their careers to be wealthy, and they weren't when we got started here. And my parents are able to retire now and just do ministry at church full time, and just, it's such a huge blessing. And Dan helped position us to where that happened, and so I'm so grateful. I want to give you a couple key things that maybe you could apply to your business to be able to step up and make some progress. How many of you guys want to make progress? A lot of progress. Because I feel like I didn't make enough progress this year, and the competition and level is very high. But here's a couple things that might help you. Number one, remember that you get what you expect. Let me tell you what I mean by that. A lot of us, we start in business, we're fired up, we start making calls, prospecting, and when they answer the phone, you're excited. True or false? You're like, yes. And then you stay in the business too long, we start to condition ourselves where we expect to lose. How many of you guys have ever done this? Your coach tells you to make calls, and you're all right, fine. Ring, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. You expect to lose. What I mean by this is that you gotta expect the stuff you do to work. Because if you don't, it won't work. And eventually, like he talked earlier, you'll burn yourself out. Number two, don't get caught thinking small just because you come from a small background. I came into business without a family that made a ton of money. My mom and dad didn't choose careers to become financially wealthy. And when I got here, I couldn't imagine the stuff that we're able to do now. And a lot of us, we come from small beginnings. I'll give you an example. Someone told me the other day, well, I read something about your company on the internet. And I said, let me tell you why. Because we recruit people like you. And people like you are the ones that write the stuff on the internet. Here's why. You come from nothing, so you can't see nothing in your future. So don't get caught thinking small, you guys. Just because we started from nothing doesn't mean it's got to stay that way. Number three, you got to want some more. If you don't want some more, then guess what? You're not going to get it. The people that settle for crumbs never eat. The hungriest at the table is the one that eats. When I got here, I didn't have a market. I didn't have a background of success. I hadn't done a whole bunch of stuff where I had a track record of winning, but I wanted it so bad. I had something inside of me that you couldn't take away, which is I wanted it so bad. I sat in the front row in an SMD meeting one time, and a lady came out and she said, hey, I didn't know you were an SMD. And she wanted me to move. And I said, I've been an SMD since I got here. It doesn't show yet, and I haven't got there yet, but trust me, I belong here. And she's not in the company anymore, so it's all good. But you gotta want more. Last thing, I want you to sell out. Our guest speaker, which by the way I think was the best keynote speaker I've heard since I got in the company. He talked about this a little bit. Let me tell you what I mean by this. This is somewhere that you should be proud to do. You should be proud to do this. This is something that for a long time, I was doing the business just trying to make money. That was really it, because I didn't have any. So when you didn't have any, that's the only thing you think about. And I just wanted to make money, and I'll tell you, I've come to discover through the years that this is something you should be really proud to be a part of, no matter what your broke cousin says, or what your dumb neighbor says. This is something you should be proud of. And I'll tell you why. In the last 3 weeks, we've lost 3 agents of ours who've died. One of them, she's in the ICU right now fighting for her life. She's maybe, they told me, yesterday, she may have 5 to 7 days. Arguably, my team would agree too, the best direct recruit I've had in my entire career. And one of our best friends, and these 3 young ladies, they crossed the border to have a plastic surgery procedure together. And they got fungal meningitis, and they've been in the ICU for about 6 months, and 3 of them have died already, and we've got one who's fighting for her life right now. Let me tell you why I tell you this story. The stuff we do really makes a difference. It really does. I know we say that all the time. I want you to know something. One of them had no life insurance because when she got here, she believed she needed to make more money and pay off her car before she could get a policy. And no matter what we tried to do, she wouldn't do it. She finally did it, and she died while her policy was in underwriting. In fact, the day she died, her husband's policy got approved. The next one, they're all in their 30s, by the way, like 30 years old. The next one, she had a 5-year-old daughter who turned 5 the day before she died. She has a $700,000 policy. And that kid will never have to worry about anything ever again. The last one, she's got $2 million in coverage. And just one of the purest souls that I've ever met. And her husband, and she's got a 9-month-old daughter who was 3 months old when she went in the ICU. She hasn't seen in 6 months. A 2-year-old son and another son. And she's got $2 million in coverage. And you can't replace the loss of a person. But I've seen through business now people who've died with no life insurance. I've seen people who died with a little bit. And I've seen people who've died with a lot. And one thing I can tell you, you'll get a lot of recognition and you'll win a lot of awards and you're gonna make a lot of money if you do this and you do it right. But Emmanuel Tita said something earlier. He said, why are you thinking about money? And when you stop thinking about money, you'll start making money. What we get paid may seem like a lot, but it's nothing compared to what it will pay our clients someday. What we make is pennies compared to what it'll pay our clients someday. We may make 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand, and we've written checks and delivered checks for over $3 million in the last 3 weeks. And it's nothing compared to the day I walked in an appointment trying to get my promotion. And so, the one thing I want you to remember coming out of here is this is something you should be proud to be a part of. The stuff we do matters, and happiness does not exist without fulfillment, and you can find that here. Thank you guys.